Where do you come to get all your news? You already know the Washington Informer. I am elated to be with you all for another episode of Let's Talk. I am Misha Green, managing editor here at the Washington Informer. And I know that you all see my face a lot on One TV, but not always on Let's Talk. Our normal host is our fearless publisher, Denise Rolock Barnes. And today she is at the Maryland, Delaware, and District of Columbia uh, Association, Press Association, I have to say, awards. The Informer, I think, won upwards of 20 MDDC awards this year. And so we are celebrating in a major way. Last that I checked yesterday, we were at 17 awards and they hadn't announced the last few. So there's a lot to celebrate, and the Washington Informer will be giving you that information as we know, and we'll certainly be celebrating. But in the meantime, in between time, this weekend is about the mothers. Today's show, we have a really wonderful group of people talking about um, uh, not only mothers, but also some of the other themes of this month. May is chock full of commemorations. We have National Mental Health Awareness Month. There's also National Older Americans Month, as well as National Physical Fitness and Sports Month. And so I'm really excited because I think our guests will be able to tie into a little bit of those commemorations as well. And we'll first start with Sharon Hines, the director of the DC Department of Aging and Community Living, as we explore resources and support available for older citizens. And then we'll chat with Dr. Lakeisha McMillan, a nationally recognized integrative gynecologist and hormone specialist who offers education about health and behavior change regarding menopause, and then breaking the silence surrounding the important phase in life that folks really forget to talk about, and offers valuable information for women navigating these changes. And then in a heartfelt segment, we'll hear from Gregory Baldwin, who this weekend will honor courageous mothers who have lost their children to gun violence. And we will talk to two of those mothers being honored, Dorothy Elliott and Ramona Pugh, and they will share their stories. And then to inspire us all, we'll meet with Catherine Kitty Lane, a vibrant 94-year-old mother who exemplifies the spirit of aging gracefully. And last but certainly not least, our producers have asked me to invite Bishop Paula Clark of the Episcopal Diocese of Washington here on the show. And though she's known as Bishop Paula Clark to many, I get to call her mommy. And so I'm really excited to have my amazing mommy who is here. She's a native Washingtonian, so she's literally back home, but here home from Chicago to celebrate the weekend and to talk Mother's Day with us. So I'm really excited about that. And Before we get started, I just want to remind you all to pick up a copy of this week's issue of the Washington Informer at a newsstand near you. Now, I have to tell you all, I am biased. I know. I'm the managing editor. I look at the paper every single week and make sure it comes out to you all. But I really love this edition because it gives always news that you can use, but highlights moms in so many different ways. We have the reopening of Ben's Chili Bowl as a way to honor Virginia Ali, the co founder of the restaurant, who started the organization in August of 1958 with her name, with the restaurant's namesake, excuse me, Ben Ali, her late husband. And so DeMarco Rush and I have a story for you on that. Then there's the cyber threats and really how to look out for them, how to get education surrounding it. And our editor, Jada Ingleton, has a great story on that, as well as if you're doing some last minute Mother's Day shopping. There's a really, really good, some great information about how to protect yourself online. And then Sam's piece about the mayoral candidates who are vying to take the role that DC Mayor Muriel Bowser has had for 3 terms. And so while we've highlighted Janice Lewis George and Kenyon McDuffie several times in the paper as frontrunners, as well as other candidates, this is a really deep dive into some of the other folks vying for the mayoral seat. And then finally, we look at Romaine B. Thomas's life. The late Romaine B. Thomas died on April 27th at the age of 96 and was the wife and mother of the late Harry Thomas Sr. and Harry Thomas Jr., who both were former Ward 5 council members. And Romaine did such great work here in the district. She was a longtime educator, a lifelong Ivy City resident, and a principal. So we not only honor her life ahead of Mother's Day, but her contributions to the district. Oh gosh, I didn't realize how much, and that's just the front of the paper. There's so much great news you all can use. And so, without further ado, uh, I'm going to just introduce our next guest, but always say to subscribe to Washington Informer uh, on all channels, as well as our YouTube, Washington Informer TV. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube, everywhere on Wash Informer. And as we said earlier, get that copy of the newspaper. There's nothing like holding that copy if you can. So, as I say, sharing is caring. We're about to get into these interviews, and every single one you don't want to miss. So, make sure you share this live stream with the folks in your village so that they know the good work that's happening in the district, the people around making a difference and contributing in a major way, and the resources available. Without further ado, I am so excited to talk to Director Teron Hines of the DC Department of Aging and Community Living. Okay, so I'm hearing a little bit of a an echo. So apologies, folks. I think when I'm talking to you might want to mute and then just go off of mute, and that might work. Yep, that was it. Look, guys, also, we've been, for those who've been rocking with us on Win TV for a while, we are trying out a new platform, and it's been great to us, but we're still learning a few new things. So please bear with us as we're trying this new platform out. But with again, Director Teron Hines. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being with us today. I know it is a busy time, particularly this May with Older Americans Month. So before we even get into the nitty gritty, how are you doing?
Well, good afternoon, Misha, and thank you and the Washington Informer family for an opportunity to talk about living boldly with the Department of Aging and Community Living. As you alluded, May is a busy month. We just concluded our budget oversight hearing for Mayor Bowser's FY27 budget, Grow DC. But the month of May nationally is known as Older Americans Month. And this year's theme for 2026 is Champion Your Health. And we kicked off last Friday. It's hard to believe it's been a whole week that we kicked off on May 1st with our Older and Bolder Walk. It was a roll, stroll, walk, and run event where we saw up to 100 seniors come out. I'd like to give a huge kudos to DACL's External Affairs and Communications team. We affectionately call them EAC for the vision and the outreach and engagement, where we saw seniors from across all 8 wards come out and participate in this walk that kicked off Older Americans Month. And our oldest participant, 90 years young. And so he did a jog, so he did a stroll and a bit of a walk. And everyone received a medal. It was a great day. We had exhibits from our senior service network partners, ranging from our lead agencies to the villages to some of our sister agencies across government.
Oh my goodness. I have to say, Director Teron Hines, I don't know when you've been sleeping because that sounds like even just the kickoff was an incredibly busy but exciting and inspirational day. Oh my goodness. Uh, Please send the Informer pictures of that if you can. We'd love to highlight that.
Will do, will do.
Please. Now, I know again, last week started off a month long of programming, but you all are busy year long. Tell us some of the critical services that you offer with the Department of Aging and Community Living.
Thank you for that question, Misha. So, for new listeners, newly turned 60-year-old Washington, D.C. residents, give us a call at 202 724 5626. Department of Aging, we provide programs and services to our DC residents age 60 and above, their caregivers, and residents 18 to 59 with physical disabilities. When I think about some of our core services that I will plug shamelessly, that in the proposed FY27 budget from Mayor Bowser, we are maintaining our funding levels for our core support services and programs. So we're very appreciative and grateful of that investment. And so we have a nutrition program. With our nutrition program, we have over 40 community dining sites across all 8 wards of the district. In addition, we have 6 standalone senior wellness centers that also serve as community dining sites. But in addition, they focus on reducing social isolation through their programming, whether it's health, wellness, fitness, whether it is a friendly game of bingo, whether it is a line dance class, it could be a nutrition demonstration from our registered dietitians and or partners. We also focus in on social engagement, and so there field trips, opportunities for the seniors to travel across DC and just a little bit over the line in gorgeous Prince George's County. Were they opportunities to, go to movies, go to different arts and cultural events, do a little shopping. And as I think about shopping, that also ties back into several other nutrition programs that we have within our Chief Program Officer cluster. And so seniors who are not able, who may be experiencing isolation, may have some mobility challenges, are not able to travel to our senior wellness centers. We do have a home delivered meals program, and we're excited to share that we've seen a slight reduction in the number of participants, and that can be attributed to becoming healthier and stronger, and therefore being able to come to one of the community dining sites to participate. Coupled with increasing social engagement and reducing social isolation. I think about we have a transportation program that's very successful called the Connector Card. And with the Connector Card, depending on your income level, you are eligible for up to $100 on a gift card, so to speak, that you can use to travel to a hair appointment. It could be to attend your faith-based institution. It could be to meet up with family or friends, but giving you another opportunity to extend your independence and not have to rely on someone coming to pick you up, but giving you, the senior, the autonomy to schedule your transportation. And seniors have been very pleased. It's one of our most popular programs. The last program that I would feature is standing on one of the pillars that Mayor Bowser, it's one of her signature programs, Safe at Home. She is a strong proponent as a caregiver to older parents, her mother now, and seniors want to age in place in the communities that they've built and love. And so the Safe at Home program gives an opportunity for an occupational therapist to come in and do an assessment to see what home adaptations can be provided to reduce falls risk and allow seniors to continue to age in place at home. That one is a very popular program. And again, we just want to thank Mayor Bowser for keeping us whole in FY27 around that signature program as well.
That is such great information and such a wealth of resources, Director Charon. Really, it's exciting to know there's so much available for district residents. And as we are preparing our special edition next week on, um, it's actually it's our health special edition, so we're highlighting mental health, but particularly how it affects older Americans. These programs is exactly what I'm, as I'm hearing people's stories and experiences, I'm saying, and the district has it all for you. The district has everything to sort of combat um, loneliness, isolation, and some of these challenges. The one thing that we know that everybody's trying to tap into is some financial resources right now. It's a hard time. We see rising prices due to a lot happening in the world. But then also, there are concerns about medicine that we're seeing some of our older Americans expressing, particularly with potential policy changes. What are some of the healthcare resources and financial resources other than this card that sounds phenomenal? I can't wait to tell some of the aging folks in my life about this in DC to ensure that they tap into that. But what are some of these other ways that folks can kind of combat this time and ensure that they stay afloat?
Another one of DACL's transportation programs is the Senior Med Express transportation program. And that program is specifically designed for seniors who need transportation to medical appointments, to the pharmacy to pick up their prescriptions. If they have any type of treatments, whether that's a cancer treatment, radiation treatment, dialysis treatment, it is a cost free program. So let me reemphasize that for listeners is that all of our DACL programs and services are free. There are income eligibility guidelines, but all of our programs are free. Another program that will be helpful for listeners when I think about our health space in addressing rising costs to prescriptions or how to navigate various insurance plans and changes that may be on the horizon. We at DACL have a state health insurance program, which is universal across the 50 states. And as we always talk about, we hope to become the 51st state in the near future. But our SHIP program is also another resource where seniors can call to answer and address questions about their insurance programs and also to find out benefits and as I kind of think of like amenities and services for that they can receive through their health insurance programs. And if you want to I'll plug in again our number for DACL 202 724 5626. We want to be seniors one-stop shop when it comes to accessing and navigating district government agencies and finding out how we can serve you better.
I am so thankful you shared that. I might actually be squeezing some of that information again into some of the pieces I've edited. So thank you so much, Sharon. Anything else that folks need to know to tap into about DACL and the great programming offered, particularly as now that you know what's ahead with your fiscal year 27 budget?
I just really like to, take this opportunity to thank the DACL partnership arms, and that would be our over, 40 grantees that comprise our senior service network, because without them, we would not be able to implement and execute the numerous and successful and soon to be award winning programs that we have within the Department of Aging and Community Living. One additional program I would like to highlight for seniors who are listening, family members, and overall DC residents who are 60 and above that say, you know, I'd like to be able to go in the community and talk about these programs. I may be a recipient of one of these programs or a family member. We have a DACL Senior Ambassador Program, and these are trained residents that provide information about our programs and services. Ambassadors receive their DACL Senior Ambassador Messenger bag. It's their toolkit, and so they're in uniform. They have a embossed polo shirt, and so they're on official business when they're in the communities and they're tabling and sharing that information with other seniors. So their message connectors for us, and they're an extension of our DACL family. We have training in multiple languages, and I'd like to acknowledge Sharon Wise, who many of the Washington Informer family of listeners are familiar with. She has been very instrumental in expanding the vision, because I tasked the team with, increasing the number of DACL Senior ambassadors to get that word out. Because in addition to seeing us as the team of DACL, when you see a DACL Senior ambassador, that's an additional resource to have a one-on-one conversation about their questions they may have regarding any challenges or successes that they're going through.
I mean, again, I'm not positive exactly when y'all at DACL are getting some rest, but I know that you're doing great work. And so we know that we are thankful for that. Director Teron Hines, oh my goodness, you are such a treat to us. We thank you so much for always keeping the Informer up to date on what DACL is up to. And we thank you again for your commitment to district residents. And please come back to Win TV and share more of the good news that we can use.
Thank you so much, Misha, for this opportunity via Denise Rolark Barnes, and congratulations on all of the kudos. DACL also supports the Washington Informer. I have a monthly column, Living Boldly column, that appears in the Washington Informer. And we're just proud of this partnership and knowing that the Washington Informer has been a DC publication and literary icon since 1964. And I give those kudos as a third generation Washingtonian and understand the importance of a Black media company. Being able to share important information and updates and announcements, and to keep residents connected to all of the wonderful things that happen in the nation's capital.
And we just thank you for that. Y'all, I promise you we didn't pay Director Teron Hines to say that. She just said those good things. No, we thank you so much. And oh, your column is beloved. I have to shout it out. And so even if you all are saying, "Hey, we haven't seen it in the paper, let me catch up," they're all online. Just go on WashingtonInformer.com, put in Sharon Hines, and you'll see all of the pieces. So keep a pulse on all things DACL using the website, of course, as well as WashingtonInformer.com. And we will again share the news you can use. Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much, Director Sharon Himes. We so appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Misha. And happy Mother's Day to everyone, remembering their mother, honoring their mother, and celebrating their mother.
Yes, thank you, and same to you. Oh, you all, I'm just so fired up. There's such great things happening in our amazing city. And so, again, thank you, Sharon Hines, Director of the Department of Aging and Community Living here in the great nation's capital. And now we are shifting gears a bit. We've talked about aging. And so, a part of aging for women is this little thing that folks don't like to talk about, and that's menopause. And we got to change that narrative. There's one person out there doing that, and that is Dr. Lakeisha McMillan, who, as I said before, is an integrative gynecologist and hormone specialist who offers education about health and behavior change, particularly as it relates to menopause. And she's breaking the silence surrounding this important phase in life and offering valuable information for women navigating these changes. Dr. Lakeisha, admittedly, I'm so thankful you're on the show. I turned 35 in 3 months and got all the questions. So,
Awesome, awesome.
how are you doing today before we get into the nitty gritty?
I am doing well, Misha. Thank you so much for having me here. I am so honored to be here to be able to talk to your community today.
It is so important. And again, first of all, I have to give a shout out to all things. Just women in medicine, but particularly Black women, we know is not a large percentage, and that's something that we've been talking about at the Washington Informer and how to combat that. And so that's a big shout out. But then also a Black woman in medicine talking about a subject that needs to have far more conversations and things that, as we've found, particularly in the Black community and talking to folks, that folks, oh, I don't know, we don't talk about that, oh, we got a hot flash and that's it. And so there's so much more. You know, tell us just a little bit about this phase in life that we call menopause. And I know that there's not just that, there's the peri and but give me all of it.
Absolutely. I'm a teacher by nature and my heart, and I'm from the South. I'm from Alabama originally, so I got a little bit of preacher in me too. So you're just gonna have to tell me when it's time to stop talking because this is my favorite subject. I can talk for hours on end about it, but I love to be able to give us a little bit of foundation. And so I say, think of menopause as a continuum, and you start out with perimenopause. Well, a lot of people know menopause, and what they do is they think it is a collection of symptoms that you have to have. The textbook definition of menopause is 12 consecutive months without your cycle. That's it. We're not talking about any symptomology that some people may know or think about, and they're the big three that most people think about: hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, and they think that's menopause. And I'm gonna give you a little bit on that too. It's not just that. And then there's perimenopause. Now, Misha, I call that purgatory because you can be in perimenopause for 5, 7, 10 years before you go into full blown menopause. And this is where your hormone levels start changing enough to give you symptoms like not being able to sleep all night, not being able to get to sleep as easily, starting to feel some warmth at night, that cover off, cover on, foot out, foot back in type of thing. I have patients that say to me, I'm not having hot flashes yet. They're quick to tell me, no, 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 no hot flashes, but I'm feeling warmth, that type of thing. Or your cycle can start at, looking a little, I call it wonky, where you can start having it closer together. So you may have 2 cycles in a month, or you may skip a month and start having cycles every 3 or 4 months, or even go 6 months. But this is where you have to know it is a continuum. So I want women to understand you can start having perimenopausal symptoms as early as your mid to late 30s, because your hormone levels can change that early in your lifetime.
What a relief. Thank you so much for breaking that down. I mean, and again, it's terms that we hear, and social media. You'll see people now with the patches and things like that, but it almost is so crazy that you've broken it down in such layman's terms, and yet folks have made this to be this scary and confusing thing that we can't breach. Now I know the time can be a little bit confusing, certainly. Talk to a little bit talk us through how folks can start feeling prepared for this moment, and how those surrounding people in my generation, for example, all my friends are now going through this. How can we be supportive to one another in this moment as well?
I love that question because, first and foremost, I want women to understand that having symptoms related to your hormones changing is not a moral failure. So let's get that straight. And I think that is one of the things that we're having to shine the light on this conversation, that takes the boogeyman or the shame out of it. Because a lot of women from my mother's generation, my grandmother's generation, they didn't talk about this. It was the change. It was enshrouded in secrecy and silence, and so it was like, "Oh, what does that mean?" And so now we're starting to say, "Hey, this is a physiological process. There is true chemistry that is happening in your body that then in actually shows up as true symptoms." So for my women that are in their 30s, I'm starting to tell them, if you start noticing anything that is not in your regular routine, like your sleep is starting to get disturbed, your cycle is starting to become a little irregular, your mood is not as even as you used to be, you're not able to handle stress the way you used to handle stress, those can be those little micro changes that are starting to say, hello, hello, ma'am, something is going on. And you are the CEO of you and your health. And you need to be able to then find a hormone specialist like myself and partner with them so that you can start feeling back in control of your body again.
I love that. We are the CEOs of our health and our bodies. That I mean, that notion is something that we forget, I think, time and time again, and it's such an important reminder. Now I know that you have your patients and that keeps you very busy, but also you're an author and you educate people in that way. And so tell us a little bit about the other PMS and this survival guide, and why you decided to offer this beyond your work that you're doing in office.
I decided to write this book because the way that I'm able to communicate with my patients, a lot of them are just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just talking to my girlfriend who happens to be a doctor. And I go, yeah, that's the way it should feel. It should feel as if you are in partnership with your healthcare provider, with your doctor. And so the way that this book is written, it is really written as if I'm sitting on the couch next to you going, girl, let me tell you, this is what's happening, this is what's happening, and breaking it down literally in like metaphors and helping you to understand, oh, this is what's happening. One of the things, I don't think I have it in the book, I think it's coming in my next book, but I also also say, I say, think of it this way. Your body has a HPA axis, is what it's called, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. And it's also another hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis. And so think of the hypothalamus as the one that composes a piece of music. It says, hey, I want to write this piece of music. And then it hands it over to the pituitary, and the pituitary is the conductor. Then the pituitary says, okay, ovaries, I want you to do this. Thyroid, I want you to do this. Adrenals, I want you to do this. And when everybody is listening to the conductor, that's when you feel just like yourself. Well, when there is stress, it can actually impact how the hypothalamus writes that piece of music. And so now it hands a very incomplete piece of music to the pituitary. And now nobody's listening to the conductor anymore. And that is kind of what's happening when we go into perimenopause and menopause. There are things that are happening inside our body. And if you can have somebody like me to break it down and make it very simple and understandable and relatable, it does not feel so overwhelming. And that's really what's in the book. It's really just a guide that says, hey, these are some things that are happening. Here are some tests you may even want to ask for. And then we talk about some of the, at the end, it's like, hey, there's a conversation around HRT, around hormone therapy. And so let's take the boogeyman out of that.
Thank you, and more thank you. I am looking forward to not only picking up the book, but sharing it with my village and making sure folks in my life have it. But now you know I'm not going to let you go without at least plugging when we can expect uh, the next book, since you gave us that tease.
I am working on it, so it's more than likely you'll be able to see it in 2027. That's one of the things that I'm working on this year. There's so much that's happening. I'm so excited. I have my concierge practice where I'm here in the local DMV area, so I do take care of patients. I also teach practitioners my hormone system so that they can help to treat other perimenopausal and menopausal women. So I have my irons in a couple of fires, and things are really kicking up and picking up, and I'm just so blessed and grateful to be in this space. I feel that I've been called, like this is my ministry, this is my platform. I feel this is my pulpit, that I'm able to be able to help women understand what is happening to them so they can take back the reins and feel like themselves again.
The Reverend Dr. Lakeisha McMillan doing the ministry of menopause. No. Oh my goodness, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for your time. Where can folks find you to keep a pulse on all of the amazing things that you have going on?
Thank you so much, Misha. This has been an honor to be here. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Dr. Lakeisha MD. That's DrLakeischa MD. And if you want to schedule a virtual consult visit with me, go to talkhormones.com and we can get together and have that conversation and start working together to get your personalized symptom solution blueprint ready for you.
That sounds good to me. Thank you so much, Dr. Lakeisha, for your time. Please don't be a stranger to us here at the Washington Informer. I just know I'm going to be tapping you a lot personally for some stories and maybe for some other things as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Have a great rest of your day and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Same to you. Take care. Wow. I mean, you all, has this not just been the most exciting day? And it just continues to tell us why we need to have these important conversations. And so, thank goodness for the Washington Informer and Let's Talk to ensure that that's happening. The next, we're shifting gears a bit as we uh, enter this Mother's Day weekend. We have a very important conversation which talks about children who have been victims of gun violence and their mothers who are continuing to keep their legacies alive. And so I am really, really honored to have Dorothy Elliott and Ramona Pugh here with us today. not only to share their journeys, but they're also being honored. Oh, we don't have Mrs. Elliott anymore. We've had her on the show before, we've had her in the paper, but they're also being honored for their work in keeping the legacies of their children alive. So, without further ado, I am excited to bring Ramona Pugh on. Ramona, how are you?
How you doing? I'm good.
Oh, now, Ramona, I know this weekend is not necessarily your most fun weekend. And so I first want to send my biggest condolences and love, hugs, and prayers. Um, Tell us about your child and tell
Um,
us about how you continue to keep your child's legacy alive.
well, I have 5 children.
Wow. Wow.
My two girls and 3 boys.
Wow.
And I'm Tyree. Tyree was the oldest. He he was one of them outgoing, all over the place young man, but he was a real sweet guy. And on Thanksgiving Day of 2019. We were all at my niece's house celebrating Thanksgiving, and he got out of an Uber, and I guess somebody followed him, and we were all in there, and we heard gunshots, and by the time I got to him, they had him. The police was out there, and they got him in the ambulance where he passed away,
Mm.
and through the grace of God, um, I ain't lose my mind. I'm a recovering addict, and I didn't drink, take a drink to it. Thank God I was plugged in. I think I had like 4 years clean at the time. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
Mm. And Miss Ramona, I mean, because when I hear stories, first of all, again, condolences, and that's a tragedy for you, for your children, and for the entire family. Thanksgiving Day, what's supposed to be a celebratory occasion. Um, but I think you raise a great point. You still have your mind. You're continuing to keep Tyree's legacy alive, and you keep pushing for your other children and for yourself and for Tyree. Tell us how you're able to do that. How do you get one step in front of the other every day, and can you offer some solutions for moms maybe experiencing the same thing?
and like I said, I'm in a fellowship of men and women, and a lot of them they help, push me through. My family was there. The sad part of it, I don't even kind of like talk to the homicide detectives no more because they told me they found a gun that killed my son, but it was in a home of an older person and they couldn't question him. So it's like my heart was broken, like, but I still each event that they have, I still go and I support it, and I keep his legacy going on. I go visit him, and then to make it bad, I have a 20. Tyree was 24 in 2024. I called my son and someone answered the phone, and it was my mother's birthday, January the 8th, where he OD'd off a fentanyl pill.
Mm,
So it's like, Lord, what are you doing?
mm,
And I really thought with this one, I was gonna lose my mind because he was the baby,
yes.
and he was that caressing, like touchy, and
What
I
they call
missed it.
the Velcro baby.
Yeah, I missed that. I really missed that. But I went through therapy with my church, and each and every day it's like I keep his pictures because he used to like to draw. So I
Mm,
keep his pictures in the house, and I got pictures of him, and I continue to talk to him, and that's what I plan on doing. I went out there 2 weeks ago, and look at God. My son is like 15 steps from his brother, both of them like 15. I said, "Look at you, God." So I'll
Wow.
be able to sit right there and, so, but each
Well,
day it
now
get
we're
better.
at each other's back.
It
And
get better, but I thought I was going to really lose my mind,
mm,
but like I said, I kept praying. I went to therapy, and then I have also talked to women that lost 4 children. So I'm like, wow, what I thought it was two. So I still have my 3 daughters, and I have a son that's a school teacher, and they surround me and love me, and the grandchildren, and my mom, and I just push through, one
I,
day at a time.
again, I'm sending you the biggest hugs and
Thank
love
you.
and prayers. Um, but I want to tell you congratulations for you being true to your own journey, staying the course,
Yes.
um, being surrounded. Again, we're working on this Older Americans Month special edition, and one of the things I found as we've been talking to mothers in particular that they are find it difficult to connect and be surrounded by their family, and so the fact that you have that is such a blessing. What are some of the pieces of advice that you can give to others to ensure that they have a network, even if they don't have family around, even if they don't have children? What are some of the other ways that they can try to stay afloat despite this difficult time?
Well, like me, I surround myself with positive people, and I try to get into different organizations like Father Factor. They have a trauma um a class, and they always having like bingo. Just keep my mind. At first I was mad at God for a long time. Like, why me? But he know what's best. He know what's best because it's so dangerous out here now. I don't know. I just pray every day, and I just ask God to keep me focused. And like I said, I try to anything that has to do with it. But my church, the New Macedonia Baptist Church, their grief ministry was awesome. They gave me books. So if I ever feel like down, I go and read something to feed my spirit. So, and like I said, I thank God for my family because they check on me, and, I just keep myself busy. My girlfriends, we go out, and they know I like to dance. So they, I had 2 days, man. They surrounded me every day. We went out to eat, we danced, and they just kept my mind. So instead of just being closed in, surround yourself with people that's gonna bring your spirit up. I had my moments, but I'm better than I was in the beginning, and that's all that matter. Yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. Look, I was so inspired. I didn't know I couldn't be heard. Look, I am so um, in- inspired, Miss Ramona, not only by your strength, your courage. I was in a part of a workshop a couple weeks ago where they said, Black women, we need to start trying to stay away from the word resilience because that means we going back to hard times. So you were resilient because you did some hard times. But I'm declaring this for you, Miss Ramona, that this is a moment to walk in your love and light as well as your sons and keep their memories shining
Yes.
as you already are doing. And so, thank you for doing it. Thank you for your transparency. Know that you got this lady over here, and I'm sure the hundreds of folks watching, praying for you and sending you hugs. Let
Thank
me
you.
just, before we wrap, I want to make sure we got. I see Miss Dorothy's in there, but I don't know if she's on. Miss Dorothy, can you hear us? Okay, I'm not positive. I don't think so, but
I hear you.
again, we've been highlighting her story for quite some time, and will continue to do so. And Ms. Ramona, we will make sure to continue to uplift your work as you um, spread awareness about there. It's hard, but there are brighter days
Yes,
even in the dark times.
yes.
And so, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Same to you.
Your cloud of angels, I know, are doing their big ones for you
Yeah.
this weekend and always. And Miss Dorothy, if you can hear us, just know that we love you. And oh, before I let you go, because you guys are honorees, what's going on tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow. Oh, I got the Mr. Greg, in which he always invite me to a Mother's Day event. It's gonna be Heavenly Hands. It's called Healing Hands, and I mean it's called Helping Hands Incorporated. Gregory Baldwin is the founder, and it's a Mother's Day celebration from 3 to 7 Saturday at DC Bard High School,
Perfect.
early college, and that's 1351 Alabama Avenue Southeast.
You know exactly where that is. If you don't, y'all, make sure you get to Bard to check out what is happening. We are so thankful for um, you all's time today.
Hello.
Well, Miss Dorothy, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
You're a little bit low.
Oh, okay, I'll
Y-
speak up more. Can you hear me better now?
we can. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Doing well. I just wanted to make sure we gave you a little moment, first of all, to celebrate you this Mother's Day, but to also highlight your work. Are you able to turn on your camera?
Yes. 1 second. Where is it? Oh, shucks. No. Where's my camera? I don't know where the camera is. I saw it earlier.
Okay, well, you know what? Then I think that's all right, Miss Dorothy. Just if you want to share a little bit, just in a few sentences about your journey, we have made sure to highlight the great work you've been doing to raise awareness about victims of gun violence, and particularly how mothers continue to keep their children's legacy alive. Did you just want to talk about that for this Mother's Day weekend?
Yes, it's been a long journey for me. Actually, 33 years. Can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was determined that my son was not going to be a statistics when I realized that the legal system was not going to punish the officers who killed my son. So I have been involved with Coalition of Concerned Mothers. I've been speaking many places. And also, I started a scholarship fund for my son, which I'm very proud of, and we have given away at least $15,000 within a short period of time. So it's good to have other mothers involved because when something happens like this, you really don't know who to turn to because in 1,000 years, I never would have dreamed that my son's life would have been taken the way it was. And I believe that one of the things that we've done in Annapolis was to go to the uh, a General Assembly and asked them to do away with the LEOBOR, the Law Enforcement Officers Bill of Rights, because it gave special privileges to the cops. And Amnesty International sent me to Durban, South Africa to talk about the police issues here in the United States. So it's an ongoing thing, and there are a lot of people who reach out to us, like Mr. Baldwin, and that's a great deal for me. I look forward to it every year. He's a great community leader, and he does so many things for the community. And it's nice to partner with people who really understand your pain because the pain never goes away. It's forever there. And what helped me through a lot in the very beginning was looking after my soon to be 12-year-old son when Artie passed away. There were days when I couldn't get out of bed, but I knew when he was coming home, I had to get up and prepare his food and to help him with his homework. So I had family too, and that helped a lot. A lot of nationally known people like Dick Gregory, Joe Madison, the Reverend Honorable Walter Fauntroy, and Martin Luther King came to protest at the courthouse on 22 consecutive Wednesdays. Every Wednesday at noon, we were there trying
Wow.
to get the state's attorney to reopen the case.
Amazing. Again, I know you said it's been 33 years, but I can't imagine that it sometimes doesn't feel like yesterday for you, Mrs. Elliott. And so I just thank you for continuing to be a fearless and brave advocate for uh, raising awareness. And again, we have some of those pictures with Dick Gregory and other folks, and you out there from years ago. And so, uh, thank you again for always making space for the Black press and ensuring that we're able to tell your story and the important work, and of course, your amazing son's story as well.
I appreciate Denise Barnes. She has been very helpful in keeping my story alive.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we thank you, Mrs. Elliott, and wish you a very happy Mother's Day, as well as hope you have fun at the event tomorrow with Greg Baldwin.
It will be nice. It'll be fun.
Yes. Well, I am so thankful to Ramona Pugh and Dorothy Elliott for sharing their stories. Again, we know that this time is not always fun, particularly for mothers and children who've experienced loss around this time. But we also know that there are people out there doing good work to make sure that this can be a little bit more bearable. And so we thank you all for raising awareness, and certainly Greg Baldwin for the work that he does. Our next guest is somebody that I am really excited to chat with because I hear that she might be able to give us some hints on the secret to a long life.
Mm.
Yes, hello to Mrs. Catherine Kitty Lane. You
Hello, hello.
you are such an inspiration, Mrs. Lane. How are you?
I'm doing good. And you?
I am well. Happy Mother's Day weekend.
Same to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I have to first start with asking you how does 94 feel? It looks more like 54, so we know black don't crack. And let me tell you that.
Well, 94 feels good. I tell you, it's good to be here. A lot of us don't get to see 94.
It is
It's
such
truly a blessing.
It is truly a blessing. What are some of the things that you do to stay active and ensure a healthy lifestyle to get to these 94 amazing years?
Well, I'll tell you what, my best advice is always to stay in the moment.
Mm. Stay in the moment is a gem that I now have to take with me forever. You've seen, decades of change. What were some of the uh, biggest changes you've seen along the way and the lessons that you were able to take from the different decades to guide you to 2026?
First of all, you always have to keep the faith because there's that greater power up there. And the other thing is that you have to be understanding. You have to know where people are coming from or try to figure out where they're coming from. And that's about it. and be happy in your shoes.
Being happy in your shoes is something that I think we forget quite regularly. I love that. Um, you know, uh, Mother's Day is about celebrating love and resilience and strength. As a mother yourself, what's a cherished memory that you have uh, over the years that puts a smile on your face as you go into this Mother's Day?
Oh, oh my God, I can't even begin to go way back there. I really can't. That's a tough one. Let me
Well, let me
say,
ask you this.
sometimes,
How many kids do you have, Mrs. Lane?
oh, I have too.
So I know that it was a handful of memories for sure, far more.
I can't go way back there. I tell you, memories. Oh my God. My best memory is like stay right where you are, stay in the moment, and keep going.
I love
Keep
that.
on pushing.
I love that. And do you have grandchildren or great grandchildren?
Yes, I do. I have two great grandchildren. And how many grandchildren do I have? I've lost, I don't,
Got 8.
8.
What? What? So this is a busy time for you this Mother's Day.
I tell you, you know. So I'll just sit back on this Mother's Day and enjoy the moment. That's all.
That is wonderful. Any lasting words that you can give to us? You've given us such great gems, but something that you'd like for us to remember as we proceed not only into this weekend, but navigating this challenging time.
I think that the best thing you can do is try to understand people.
Mm,
Understanding, I think, is the best medicine. Just stay in the moment and try to understand where people are coming from. These days it's kind of difficult, but if you hang in there, you can figure out.
absolutely. Well, I mean, I am just tickled, pink, and smiling ear to ear as you can see from this time with you, Mrs. Lane. You are such an inspiration, and I have to say, can you come back for your 95th birthday?
Beg your pardon?
Can you come
Can
back
you
for your
come back for your
95th
95th
birthday?
birthday?
Why not?
Yay!
I'll be here waiting for you.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, that we have a lot to celebrate, certainly, but 94 years and your just
And
wonderful
independent.
words, your independence, your strength. I mean, is truly an inspiration to us all. And so, as we celebrate Older Americans Month, as well as Mother's Day, I just want to let you know your name should be in the dictionary under both because you are truly an inspiration.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
so much. And thank you, Samaya, for being there also with and making sure we got this interview done.
Yeah, I just really want to, real quick, I'm having an event also tomorrow at Dacha Beer Garden celebrating mothers. And so, come on down 79 Potomac Avenue. Southeast is right in back of the Nats Stadium. And we're going to have some food, live entertainment, arts and craft, and gifts. So come on down and let's celebrate motherhood. And we're going to have testimony to the power of motherhood. So
I
come on down.
Oh, that is awesome. Look, this was a very, very, very special treat to have you on, Samaya, as well. So thank you for that. And uh, folks, go on down to Beer Garden tomorrow if you can and celebrate the mothers. What a
It's
wonderful,
free.
a free event right in Southeast, right behind that stadium. What a wonderful, wonderful treat for you to be with us as well, Samaya, today. And thank you so much, Mrs. Catherine Lane, for your time.
Thank you. And remember to always stay in the moment.
Always stay in the moment, indeed. Oh, well, I am just so thankful that we have been in the moment today. It's been a really, really busy Win TV. We've had several guests, and that means I'm sorry I have to cut my mama a little short because we have a busy day right afterwards. But without further ado, I would like to bring Bishop Paula Clark to the show. Hi, mom. Like she's coming on down. Woo! Hi, mom. Oh, we also see my dog Raina in the back.
Yeah, Raiden was in the way.
Ma, come over a little bit this way. So, okay,
Alright.
perfect. That way.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome. Well, first of all, welcome Bishop Paula Clark to the show. Now, my mom, as I mentioned earlier, is a native Washingtonian, but she just got back from Chicago, Illinois yesterday evening. She serves as the Episcopal Diocese of Chicago's bishop. How many churches are under you, mommy?
113 churches I serve. I oversee 113.
113 churches.
All over the central northern side of Illinois.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, again, we don't have a long time because we have to go and actually continue to celebrate our ancestors and legacy. As you all, many of you remember last year, my grandfather, Willie Clark, died, and today is the military ceremony recognizing his service. But also, we get to see my grandma at the cemetery as well and celebrate the life of Constance Eldine Hill Clark, who was my mommy's mommy. So just really quickly, what makes Mother's Day special for you, mommy? I know it's kind of difficult because you've lost your mommy,
Right.
but what makes Mother's Day special for you?
So you outline what makes it special. Number one, honoring the legacy of my awesome mother. I got so much inspiration from her lessons that I carry today. So I would not be the Episcopal Bishop of Chicago without her um, inspiration, quite frankly. But the other side is you and all my children. And I have a lot of children, grandchildren, actual children, stepchildren. And so the ability to spend quality time with all of you and celebrating the mothers around me, like my sister and my friends, your godmothers, quite frankly, gives this weekend a really special way of being and celebrating and saying thank you, quite frankly, to all those who have been so important in our lives.
I love that. Well, I know we have to go, but I'm just going to share a quick anecdote, which is that what makes every Mother's Day is special for me, but I think one of my most cherished, particularly since I'm not, well, y'all see my dogs all the time, so I guess I'm a dog mom, but since I don't have any human children yet, hopefully God blesses me one day. But my favorite, one of my cherished Mother's Days, and I have so many, but was in May 2021, which was a really difficult and trying time for our family. My mom had what is called an arteriovenous malformation, which turned into, through treatment and blood being on her brain for days as they were trying to treat it, turned into a stroke. And it was really, really scary. Um, and she was in ICU, and then the grade above that when she graduated from ICU, and then rehabilitation for 2 weeks. And so the weekend that she was released from the Shirley Ryan Rehabilitation Lab in Chicago, Illinois, was Mother's Day. And it was a really special Mother's Day for me because, one, I thank God every single day for my mommy, but uh, was particularly grateful after such a trying time to see her literally, I think they wheeled out a room, but I literally walk out of
Yes.
the rehabilitation center. And so I'm so proud of you, so inspired, so
Thank you.
thankful for you. And I know I'm biased, but I got the best mommy in the world, everybody. So um, thank you all for continuing to support our family. We see all of the love and comments, and you all calling us twins on social media. We see that, so thank you all. And I'm sure this weekend you'll get to see fun photos of our celebrations as we continue to, like I said, honor the ancestors and the women and men in our lives who have been critical to who we are. And as I get to celebrate Paula weekend on
Thank
this
you.
Mother's Day.
Thank you. And God bless and keep all of you this day and always.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to all of
Happy
our
Mother's
viewers.
Day.
Happy Mother's Day to our fearless publisher, Denise
Yes.
Verlark Barnes, and her mommy, Vera Abbott, who I
Who I
believe is
worked with.
who she worked with, and I
Yes.
believe is celebrating like 92 years this year.
Yeah.
So absolutely amazing. And also want to shout out our awesome producer, the our executive producer, Chevry Lassiter, who is the mommy and grandmommy with the mostest. And so she's always busy taking care of her family and then finds time to take care of us. And so we thank you, Chevry, and love you. Take care, everybody.